Okay, I think it's good to start if it's okay with you. Okay, so there is Gemara in Masechet Pesachim in two places that the Gemara talking about the idea that the pasuk said Lechem Oni. Okay, when it's come to Pesach to Matzah, the pasuk described the Matzah as Lechem Oni. So the Gemara in Pesachim in Daf Kuf Tvav Amud Bet, it's the first source in the Gemara that I sent you. The Gemara said, Amar Shmuel Lechem Oni Ktiv, Lechem Oni, sorry, Lechem Shonin Alav Dvarim. Kanya Namiyachi, Lechem Oni, Lechem Shonin Alav Dvarim Arbe. So the first explanation of the Gemara to the words Lechem Oni is from the words Onin, answering, or basically saying, or telling. So what is Lechem Oni? It's a bread that you say a lot of things, a lot of tells, a lot of things about when you have this bread. Davar Acher, Lechem Oni, Ani Ktiv. Ma ani shedarko beprusav, kan beprusav. So there is in the words Ani, Oni, at the Torah, when the Torah describes it Lechem Oni, there is a Ktiv and Kri. There is a way that it's written, the way that you read it. The way that it's written is Ain Nun Yud. It sounds like Ani, full person. But the way that you read it, it's like Oni, like answering. So the second opinion the Gemara said that Lechem Oni not come to describe the idea that when you have the matzah, you tell a lot of things about this matzah. It's come to say that the matzah is lechem of a poor people. And how we describe, how we do it, how we emphasize the idea that it belongs to a poor person, we cut the matzah into two. We're doing yachatz. By doing yachatz, we basically explain, or basically do, something to describe that we are like a poor people. Poor people never eat the entire piece of bread that they have. They're always keeping to the next time because they're always afraid that they're not going to have enough bread. So they cut the bread. So that's the second opinion, what is Lechem Oni. So two opinions that if I can describe it, I will describe it like this. If you are reading the words Oni as it's read, it's about telling, it's about saying things. And then matzah is a bread that you tell a lot of stories about this bread. Okay, if I said Ani as it's written, like a poor person, then it needs to be a bread that you slice before you eat. That's the Gemara. According to this logic, according to this Gemara, Tosafot saying in Masechet Pesachim, Daf Kuf Yudaled Amud Aleph, that even that by manishtana, we're taking all the things from the table, the vegetable, the bread, we take everything out from the table to make the kids surprised and to ask questions, because normally you think that we're going to serve the food, and suddenly instead of serving the food and start to eat, we're taking the food out. So we're covering the matzah in our generation before manishtana. But immediately after manishtana, before we start avadim, we need to reopen the matzah. Why we need to do it? Because we want the matzah to be revealed, to be open, that and when we say the Agada, we are mekayem lechem oni shonim alav davarim arbe. When we say the Agada, when the matzah is not covered, we tell all the stories of Yetziat Mitzrayim about this bread when the bread is exposed, when the bread is there. And that's the reason why immediately after manishtana, we open the mapah, we open the matzah, we discover the matzah, and then we say the entire Agada when the matzah is not covered. That Tosafot opinion. Based on the first opinion, the Gemara that we read, that Shmuel, that the matzah called Lechem Oni because we need to tell the entire Sipur Yetziat Mitzrayim where the matzah is there. But, the Rambam disagree with this. According to the Rambam, if you look at the Rambam in Perek Chet Alach Hadat in Ilchot Chametz Matzah, according to the Rambam, we leave the matzah cover since the beginning of Manishtana till almost the end of the Magid. In the end of the Magid, when we come to say in the end of the Magid, matzah zo she'anu ochlim, kol shelo amar shlosha dvarim elu bepesach lo yatsa yedei chovato. When we come to say this matzah, it's really just before the meal, just before the end of the Magid. Only then we open the cover of the matzah. And the logic behind this idea, according to the Rambam, because you need the matzah not to be covered when we point to the matzah and say matzah zo she'anu ochlim. If the matzah is covered, how can you say matzah zo she'anu ochlim? The only option to say matzah zo she'anu ochlim is if you uncover the matzah. So when do we uncover the matzah? Just before that's time that we need to say matzah zo she'anu ochlim. That's according to the Rambam. So it sounds from the Rambam. It sounds from the Rambam.
What?
The number again.
Yes.
I have to get it. 974.
Okay? Everything's okay? Did the Rambam disagree with this concept of telling the entire Sipur Yetziat Mitzrayim on the matzah? It's looked like the Rambam holds like the second opinion in the Gemara. What do you mean the second opinion in the Gemara? The second opinion that explains what is Lechem Oni. It's not Oni from answering, it's Ani from poor person. And it's look like the Rambam disagree with this concept of Lechem Oni as answering the entire Agada when the matzah is there. It's more about slicing the matzah. It was possible to be correct. It was possible to be correct, except one problem. That I think I can prove that the Rambam not able to say something like this. I tell you why. Because if you look at source number 2 for a second, source number 2, the Gemara already also talking about this idea of Lechem Oni, and in different brighter in Gemara in Masechet Pesachim Daf Lamed Vav Amud Aleph, the Gemara again tried to explain what is Lechem Oni. So there is machlok between Rabbi Yossi Aglili and Rabbi Akiva. Okay? So Rabbi Yossi Aglili basically say that Lechem Oni is come to say that you're not allowed to eat matzah when you are onen. Okay? That's not our opinion today. Rabbi Akiva said, matzot riba. אם כן, מהתלמוד לומר לחם עוני, פרט לעיסה שנילושה ביין ושמן ודבש. What is lechem oni? Said Rabbi Akiva. It's come to say that the matzah must be done from simple ingredients. You're not allowed to make the dough of the matzah by flour and wine, and flour and oil, or flour and honey, and the continuation of the Gemara, the Gemara said also not flour and milk. So it needs to be a simple ingredients. If I ask you a simple question now, that's the idea of Rabbi Akiva, that it must be done from simple ingredients, coming from which halacha? From the words oni, like answering, or from the words ani, as a poor person? So I think the answer is really simple. Obviously, it's coming from the idea of ani, a poor person. And it's come to describe the aniyut of the matzah. A poor person not having money to buy a fancy loaf of bread. When you buy the bread, you buy the lechem achid, as we call it in Israel, the most simple regular bread. Who able to buy a fancy bread like a sweet challah and something special? When person have money. When person have no money, he buy the simplest bread ever. So Rabbi Akiva learned from the words lechem ani, like a poor person, the halacha of what? Not that you need to slice the bread, that you need to make the bread from simple ingredients. And you're not allowed to make the bread from oil, from wine, with the flour. That's Rabbi Akiva's opinion. Okay? And the Gemara then said, in Daf Lamed Vav, I just continue to read the Gemara. The Gemara said, Rabbi Akiva, I dekarina bayoni. Okay? Rabbi Akiva, okay, you explain the words ani as it's written, but the way that we read the words is oni. Yes? So what do you do with the words oni? Kedesh Shmuel, Amar Shmuel, Lechem Oni, Lechem Shonin Lav Davarim Arbe. So basically, come to the Gemara, Rabbi Akiva said the following. There is two things to learn from the words Lechem Oni. The way that it's written, the way that it's written. The way that it's written, it's like ani, and that's we learn the halacha that you're not allowed to make the flour, to make the dough from special ingredients. And from the word, the way that it sounds, oni, we learn the halacha that you need to do onim alav dvarim arbe. The Rambam, to be surprised, is posek like Rabbi Akiva. The Rambam in Perek Vav halacha A in source number 3 said, מצה של אשם במי פירות יוצא בידי חובתו בפסח. אבל אין לשין אותה ביין או שמן ודבש או חלב, משום לחם עוני. ואם לש ואכל לא יצא ידי חובתו. So according to the Rambam, we learn like Rabbi Akiva, that from the words oni, from the meaningful of the words oni, we learn that you're not allowed to do the matzah from special ingredients. That's we learn like Rabbi Akiva. So therefore, it only makes sense that the Rambam need to accept also Shmuel's opinion and to explain the way that the words written, ani, as the way that the words reading, oni, as onim alav dvarim arbe. So it sounds like if the Rambam learned like the Rabbi Akiva in the Sugya Daf Lamed Vav, then the Rambam also need to accept Shmuel's opinion that Lechem Oni, Malav Dvarim Arbeh. So I'm asking again, so why come to the Rambam, you cover the matzah till when? Till the end of the Magid, when you come to say, Matzah Zo Shanu Ochlim. Why we not discover the matzah, like Tosfot said, and have the matzah open since the beginning of the Magid? So basically, if Rambam basically agree with the Tosfot that you need to say words before you're eating the matzah, you need to explain, you need to uncover the matzah to be able to explain everything that you do above the matzah. Why come to the Rambam you need only to open the matzah before the end of the seder, before you say matzah zo shanu ochlim, and not from the beginning of the seder as Tosfot suggests? And that's going to be a simple question on the Rambam. So, before I go into answer this question, I want to add another question. And that's a question that the Achronim on the Rambam talking about. Because if you look at the Rambam said basically interesting halacha. If I'm making a bread from flour and honey, or flour and milk, or flour and wine, so according to the Rambam, it's a good matzah. The only reason why I'm not able to fulfill the obligation of achilat matzah by this bread is because of what? It's not lechem oni. But what if I'm making a matzah from what we call matzah ashira? It's a matzah that I'm making from flour and mei perot. I mean, a fruit juice, like oranges, squeezed oranges. If I make the matzah from flour and squeezed oranges, what's el balach according to the Rambam? So according to the Rambam, it's kosher for matzah. Why? Because it's not called lechem ashir. It's still considered lechem oni for some reason. As long as it's not wine, oni, or oil, it's regular bread. And therefore, it could be a kosher matzah. Tell you what's the problem with this. There is a Gemara, if you look at the source sheet that I gave you, the Gemara in Psachim Lamidei Amud Aleph, it's source number 3. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish said, and Rabbi Ishmael said, and Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov said, Amakra lo tochal alav chametz, shivat yamim tochal alav matzot. דברים הבאים לידי חימוץ אדם יוצא בהם לידי חובתו ומצה. יצאו אלו שאין באים לידי חימוץ אלא לידי סירחון. The Gemara tried to explain why we're not allowed to make matzah from rice, from flour that made from rice. And the Gemara explained that the reason why we're not able to make matzah from rice, because rice is not machmitz. It's not become to be chametz. Even if you mix rice and water and put it like this a long time, it's not become to be chametz. And one condition to consider something in matzah, that it's possible to come to be chametz. And the only reason why it's not come to be chametz is because you're watching it, and you keep it not to become to be chametz. But theoretically, it was able to get to be chametz. What's about flour and milk? Excuse me? Someone want to ask something? Okay, so what's will be the halacha about flour and mei perot? Because it became to be chametz or not? According to the Rambam, it's not able to become to be chametz. So how can you make a matzah from this? According to the Rambam, it sounds like matzah ashira. It's a good matzah for Leila Seder. Only if it's made from wine, oni, oil, or milk, then it's a problem. It's not lechem oni. But all the other places, all the other cases, it's fine. According to the Rambam. Why? Because the Rambam holds that mei perot is not machmitzim, like the Shulchan Aruch, not like the Ramah, if you know what I'm talking about. So according to the Rambam, if it's not possible to be chametz, how it's possible to be matzah? And that's the question that the Maggid Mishnah asking the Rambam. So the Maggid Mishnah suggests that maybe the Rambam understands when he say that you're able to make a matzah ashira as a matzah, he's talking about case that you're mixing water with the fruit. And then when you're mixing water with the fruit, it could be machmitz. But that's a big dachak. That's a shvach things. The Rambam didn't mention water. He mentioned perot. Mei perot, it's a meat. So I think this answer is as the Lechem Mishnah suggests. And the Lechem Mishnah suggests the following. He said, when the limud is that matzah must to be done by something that able to become to be chametz, we not talking about a dough that's able to be chametz. We're talking about the ingredients that if you mix them with the water, it became to be chametz. In other words, you have two possibilities to understand. What does it mean the matzah need to be something that's able to be chametz? Option number one is to say that we're talking about the dough, that the dough able to become to be chametz. Option number two, we're not talking about the dough that's able to become to be chametz. We're talking about the ingredients. A flour, it's a flour of something that's able to be chametz. Does the question is about the flour, or does the question is about the dough? The Rambam learned that the question is about the dough and about the flour. So say the Rambam, if I take flour from wheat and mix it with the fruit water, fruit juice, obviously it's not able to become to be chametz. But the wheat, by definition, the ingredients that called wheat can be chametz, said the Lechem Mishneh, and therefore it could be matzah, because matzah has to be something that could be chametz about the flour. It's not about the dough. But other Rishonim, for example, the Ramban, they say that matzah ashira couldn't be matzah because it couldn't become to be chametz. He holds that need to be matzah, it's about the dough and not about the flour. What's the svarat machloket? So far we have two main machlokot. I'm going to have the third one, and then I'm going to talk about the svarat. So I just summarize the two machlokot that we have so far. First argument we have between the Rambam and the Tosfot. We assume that both of them agree with the principle that matzah, you need to explain. You need, when the matzah is there, you need to tell the story of the matzah. Lechem Oni alav dvarim harbe. According to Tosfot, you need to tell the entire Agada. According to the Rambam, you just need to tell the last paragraph. Matzah zo she'anu ochlim al shum shelo yespik batzekam shel achvoteinu lachmitz, etc., etc. What's the svarat machloket? Second question that we had, second machloket that we had, it's about the halacha that we learn from Rabbi Yishmael, that matzah could consider matzah mitzvah only if it's possible to become to be chametz. That's possible to become to be chametz talking about the dough, or it's talking about the flour. A Rambam learned that it's talking about the flour, and because of that, matzah, that nilosha b'mei perot, could consider matzah. According to the Ramban and other Rishonim, it's talking about the dough, and mei perot and flour, and not able to become to be chametz, so it's not able to become to be matzah. That's the second machloket. Third machloket, I just want to summarize it quickly. Everyone knows that we have a halacha of matzah shmura. It means that even theoretically, Chachamim with the patent, how to look at the dough and to realize if the dough is chametz or not chametz. Even that Chachamim had this ability, the halacha is that you're not allowed to eat matzah if you didn't do shmira to the matzah. We learn it from the pasuk ushmartem et hamatzot in source number 5. Ushmartem et hamatzot, okay? And the Gemara discussed which shmira we need. And then Rav Una in the Gemara said in the end that batzekot shel nochim, that you didn't do shmira, okay? You're not allowed to eat from matzah mitzvah. Okay? There is an interesting machloket between the Rishonim. Ramban and a lot of other Rishonim said that that's a halacha of matzah shmura, it's only for the matzah that we're eating for the kazayit in Leila Seder. But if you look at the Rambam wrote the halacha of matzah shmura when he's talking about the entire definition of matzah without connection to Leila Seder. It sounds from the Rambam that according to the Rambam, the halacha of matzah shmura, it's not only for Leila Seder for the matzah mitzvah, it's for the entire matzah that we are eating. The entire matzah they are eating, we have a halacha to do matzah shmura. And the explanation is simple. Because the Rambam holds that the halacha of matzah shmura, it's a chashash, that the Torah wants us to be careful that the matzah is not chametz. Even if theoretically you're able to prove that it's chametz or not by looking at the dough, that's not enough. You need to be sure that it's not chametz by checking it since the beginning of the processing. If you need to be sure that it's not chametz since the beginning of the processing, there is no difference between the first day of Pesach, second day of Pesach, the third day, or Chol HaMoed, the last day of Pesach. Why? Because you're not allowed to eat chametz in any one of these days. But if the Torah required you to be over careful that it's not chametz by checking it since the beginning of the process, you need to check from the beginning of the process, even for matzah that you eat in Chol HaMoed, because the Isur Chametz is equal Isur, the same Isur in Leila Seder and other days. So the Rambam learned that the reason why we need shmira for the matzah to be sure that it's not chametz. Probably the other Rishonim learned that the halacha of shmira for the matzah has nothing to do with Isur chametz. It's related directly only to matzah mitzvah. And obviously we need to explain what this is about. So I will summarize again, just to make it clear, yes? Just to make it clear, I will summarize it again. We have three main topics, three main ideas that we talk about that we want to explain. Number one is the machlokes between the Rambam and Tosfot, when the matzah need to be covered, when the matzah need to be open. In different words, when we said matzah she'onim alei advarim arbe, lechem oni, it's all the agada, only the last part of the agada. Rambam said the last part, Tosfot said all the agada. Second machlokes that we had about matzah ashira that made from oranges or juice and flour. According to the Ramban, for example, it couldn't be good matzah. Why? Because it couldn't become to be chametz. Because the Ramban defined that the dough need to be able to become to be chametz. And the Rambam said it's good matzah because we're talking about the flour. The flour need to be something that able to be chametz. And the last machloket is about the matzah shmura. The idea of shmura is to avoiding chance to get chametz. That's the Rambam. And therefore it's related to the entire days of Pesach. But it's special halacha that's related specifically to matzah mitzvah. What is flour? To answer all this idea of this question, I want to discuss with you for a few minutes the famous, simple question. Why we are eating matzah in Pesach? I mean, it sounds like a stupid question. What do you mean? Any kindergarten kids know the answer why we are eating matzah in Pesach. And what's the answer? We are eating matzah in Pesach because לא הספיקה בצקם של אבותינו להחמיץ עד שבא עליהם הקדוש ברוך הוא וגאלם. Where I took it from? In the end of the Agada Shel Pesach, that's what we explained. In the last paragraph of Agada Shel Pesach, when Rabban Gamliel said, כל שלא אמר שלושה דברים אלו בפסח, didn't fulfill his obligation, Rabban Gamliel explained, why we eating matzah? Because unfortunately, the batzek of Avotenu when they ran away from Mitzrayim didn't have enough time to raise. Okay, to rise. That's answer look like impossible answer when you look at the Chumash himself. I tell you why. And hopefully you have the source in front of you, and I'm going to read you a few psukim, and you'll see by yourself that it's almost impossible to believe that it's true. In Perek Yud Beit, the Perek they're talking about Pesach Mitzrayim, the Pesach that they made in Mitzrayim, the Korban Pesach. It says like this, Pasuk Chet, ואכלו את הבשר בלילה הזה, צלי אש, ומצות על מרורים יאכלו. What does it mean? They ate the Korban Pesach with a matzah. Why matzah? They didn't get out from Mitzrayim yet. They didn't experience the idea that the chametz that they made, the dough that they made, didn't have enough opportunity to raise, yes? To rise. Everything is still before. Look at Pasuk Yudalet. והיה היום הזה לכם לזיכרון וחגותם אותו חג להשם לדורותיכם חוקת עולם תחגו. 7 ימים מצות תאכלו, אך ביום הראשון תשבית יסעון בתיכם, etc., etc. That Sukkim said when? In Mitzrayim or to the next year? Because if you say that it said in Mitzrayim, it means that they wasn't allowed to eat from chametz in Egypt already, yes? So it's really interesting. It's really interesting because it's looking from the Torah that they wasn't allowed to eat chametz, or at least they need to eat matzah before they get out from Mitzrayim yet. So how can we say that the reason why we are eating matzah is because what? Because when they kicked out from Mitzrayim, they didn't have enough time to raise the dough, when they already obligated to eat the matzah much before that. So look for example, so I just want to give you quick notes. There is an interesting Abu Dra'am, one of the Rishonim, that on his Perush to Agada Shel Pesach, he said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu obligated them and tell them to eat matzah al Shema Atid. What does it mean al Shema Atid? HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows what's going to be in the future. So you know that in the future, I mean, a few hours later, they did not have enough time to raise the dough and to make chametz. So he told them originally to eat matzah because he knows that it's not going to be possible to be done. That's a weird answer, let's be honest, yes? It's a weird answer. So I want to suggest you two different answers to this question. And that's two different answers based on the interesting machlok between the Ramban to the Ran. If you look at source number 7, the Ramban say the following. Okay? וירפו את הבצק, the pasuk says, וירפו את הבצק, שאפו אותו מצות מפני המצווה שנצטוו שאור לא יימצא בבתיכם, כי כל אוכל מחמצת ונחתה. ואמר כי גורשו ממצרים, נאמר שאפו אותו בדרך בעבור שגורשו ממצרים, ולא יכלו להתמהמה לאפות אותו בעיר ולשאת אותו אפוי מצות. ועל כן עשו אותו בצק במשערותם וצרועותם בסמלותם על שכמם, ומיהרו ואפו אותו טרם יחמץ בדרך ובסוכות. What's the Raman say here? I tell you with my words. The Raman said that really Am Yisrael get command in Egypt not to eat chametz for 7 days. Okay? So if I ask you, according to the Ramban, why they didn't raise the dough in the Tziat Mitzrayim time, the answer will be, it wasn't allowed. Everything against what we know since kindergarten, you know? At kindergarten, we learn why we're eating matzah. They want to make a nice bread, nice challah for Leila Seder. They wasn't able to make a nice challah because they didn't have enough time. They didn't have enough time to the dough to raise, yes? And because they didn't have enough time to the dough to raise, unfortunately, they ate matzah instead of bread. And that's the reason why we're eating matzah. But according to Ramban, everything is not like this at all. I tell you what's the story according to the Ramban. According to the Ramban, the story was like this. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told them in Egypt, before you die B'Nisan, maybe close to Rosh Chodesh, start to clean your house. You're not allowed to have chametz. And now 7 days you need to eat matzah, like we have today. And you're not allowed to have chametz. And then cleaning their house and making everything clean like we do today. And make themselves ready to eat matzah, not because they not have enough time to raise the dough, because they're not allowed to raise the dough. They're not allowed to make chametz. So why are we eating matzah according to the Rambam? So there is a beautiful, beautiful Abarbanel. Beautiful Abarbanel. And Abarbanel tried to explain the Ramban with a brilliant idea. Listen carefully. He said the following. And I know that I mentioned it in the past, but it was in one of the Drasha Shabbat HaGadol in Hebrew, so now I say it in English, so maybe it's easier. There is a beautiful Abarbanel. The Abarbanel suggests the following. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants Am Yisrael to be able to recognize that Yetziat Mitzrayim was keheref ayin, like blinking your eyes, like chick-chack, yes? You had a problem. What's the problem? When you are in the middle of an event, even if you ever watch, it's difficult for you to be able to realize how much time is over, you know? Not to talk if you not ever watch, like in that generation. So Al Kadosh Baruch Hu caused Am Yisrael to be realized that Yetziat Mitzrayim was like a blink of his eyes, yes? Like quick. How can Israel realize that it was a few seconds since they was in Mitzrayim till they get to Sukkot, the first station? So Kadosh Baruch Hu made a shtick. Sorry about these words. This wasn't appropriate. What he did, he gave them a special mitzvah. And he gave them a mitzvah and tell them, you want to be a free people? That's my obligation to you. You need a mitzvah. You have a mitzvah that's called Korban Pesach. And that's a condition to be Yotzei Mitzrayim. What's the halach of Korban Pesach say? Not only that you need to shachat the Korban, you also need not to have chametz and to eat matzah for 7 days. That's the obligation. Am Yisrael get excited, say the Abarbanel. First mitzvah that they get since they get out from Mitzrayim, you know, first mitzvah, that's a condition to be able to be a free people. You can imagine that they do it with a lot of excitement. First mitzvah, opportunity to get out from Egypt, you know, after all the Aseret HaMakot, they know who is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you know. And they tried to make this mitzvah with a lot of excitement, say the Abarbanel. But you know what was the problem? They're making the dough. They want to run to bake the dough. Why do they want to run to bake the dough? It's first mitzvah, not to make it be chametz. And Paro kicked them out from Mitzrayim. He kicked them out of Mitzrayim when they still have the dough in their hand. And they get so upset. Why do they get so upset? Because, wow, the first mitzvah that Kadosh Baruch Hu gave us, we are going to fail in this mitzvah. Why are we going to fail in this mitzvah? Because we're not able to make it now. We need to run away with this dough. What to do with the dough? To throw the dough out, then we are going without food to the desert. To take the dough with us, it's ridiculous. Why? It's became to be chametz. And all the way they was crying about the mitzvah that they missed. And then they come to Sukkot and open the basket and realize what? That the dough didn't become to be chametz. And then they realized that it was so quick. If you want, it's less than 80 minutes. And that's what the HaKadosh Baruch Hu made according to the Abarbanel, to be sure that they realized that Yetziat Mitzrayim was ke'eref ein. And all this shtick about obligation to eat matzah was need to be done for what? For make them realize the mehirut, the zrizus in Yetziat Mitzrayim. So according to the Ramban, why are we eating matzah? So according to the Abarbanel suggestion? Because Bnei Israel didn't eat bread. Even that according to the natural way, the way from Mitzrayim to Sukkot was supposed to take a few hours. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made them kfitzat haderech. And that's the reason why we're eating matzah, because how fast it was. Because we realized that it was so quick. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu was important to him to make our Geulah quicker. Why? Come Rav Kook and add a small idea behind the Abarbanel, and he said that this. Said Rav Kook, you know why it was so important to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to make it all Am Yisrael realize that it was so quick? Said Rav Kook, because normally when you're moving from one place to the other place, we're moving to new state, new country, yes? Make aliyah. It takes you a while to get out from the place, the original place that you came from, you know? Most of the Olim Chadashim, and I'm pretty sure that you know better than me, continue to buy their shoes in DSW even after 2 years in Israel, and continue to ask people that go into the state to bring them things from Target, or who knows what, yes? And the reason is because that's the nature of a person. If you grew up in a place for so many years, it's difficult to him to change everything that you get used to. You know, you have roots at that location. Any change of location, it's always involved with roots that you need to cut, and it's always difficult to cut the roots. And it's not always necessary. A lot of time you still feel connected to the original place. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and because of that, normally transition taking time. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to show Am Yisrael that we have no roots in Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim, we have nothing to do with Mitzrayim, said Rav Kook. Mitzrayim is not our origin. It's not our moledet. We didn't get anything from Mitzrayim. When you're coming from different country, you get a lot of culture, a lot of chinuch, a lot of inspiration from the place that you grow, from the place that you grow up, not from Mitzrayim. Egypt is contradiction to what Jewish people symbolized. And because of that, we're not taking anything from there. We have no roots that we cut from there. Everything was temporary there. And therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted the transition to be so quick. That's a Ramban, that's Abarbanel. That's the explanation of our book. So according to the Ramban, the reason why we eat in matzah is because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to show us how quick was Yetziat Mitzrayim. That the dough didn't have an opportunity to raise. But that's only one explanation. If we go back to our original question, what exactly happened? Why are we eating matzah? What about our classic kindergarten explanation? I think that's based on the Ran. The Ran basically in source number 7 explained that the issue to eat chametz wasn't about Pesach Mitzrayim. It's about Pesach Dorot. In other words, according to the Ran, if I explain it in my words, in Egypt, they need to eat the Korban Pesach with the matzah, yes, but they're allowed to have chametz at home. They didn't need to clean the house. And they're allowed to eat chametz immediately after that, day after. Only the night of Korban Pesach, only the night that they're eating Korban Pesach, they need to eat the Korban Pesach with the matzah. But they're allowed to have chametz at home. They're allowed to store chametz at home. They don't have isur b'lirov matzah. They not have obligation to eat matzah for 7 days. They not have obligation if no isur to have chametz in their house. That's according to the Ramban. So according to the Ramban, theoretically, if they was organized, they were supposed to prepare bread to take with them to the journey. That was supposed to be organized people. Organized people are supposed to organize themselves food when they know that they're going to a journey. To organize to pack themselves before they're going. Am Yisrael didn't do so. And because they didn't do so, they started, what? Excuse me, I forgot something. Konveran, they was able to do so. Why they was able to do so? Because they allowed to have bread in their house. At the time of Korban Pesach, they're not allowed to eat that at the time of Korban Pesach, but they are allowed to have it in their house. So we're expecting them to organize themselves to make ready to the journey and to make themselves to make themselves food to the journey. Am Yisrael didn't do so. Am Yisrael didn't do so, and at the last second they remember, oh, we are going to the desert with nothing. At the last second they start to make the dough. They start to make the dough. They didn't have enough time to raise the dough, and they didn't have enough time to raise the dough. They stuck with the matzah. That's the story come to the Ram. So why we are eating matzah come to the Ram? We are eating matzah really because, as a kindergarten teacher tell us, Am Yisrael didn't have enough time to raise the dough. And if you ask the question why they didn't do it before, why they wait till the last minute? To come to the Ramah, they was allowed to make the dough before the sitting of the Seder. There is no Isur Chametz to have in your house. So what was the problem? The problem is very simple. It's come to teach us that Yetziat Mitzrayim wasn't because Am Yisrael had organized great government leaders that make them ready to the catastrophe, or make them ready to what they need. Everything the leaders, Moshe Rabbeinu is Moshe Rabbeinu, not because he was a great general of the army, or was a great Sar Otzar, was a great organized person who know how to deal with the practical, technical things to organize. That's not the reason why Moshe Rabbeinu took us from Mitzrayim, and that's not what Yetziat Mitzrayim is about. Am Yisrael didn't get out from Mitzrayim when they're ready. They get out from Mitzrayim when the Kadosh Baruch Hu decide. And because the Kadosh Baruch Hu took that. Not because b'derech hateva. As we say in Leil HaSeder, ani velo saraf, ani velo malach, ani velo ashaliach. Only HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If Moshe Rabbeinu was an organized person, that organized them, storage, trucks to go with them, and everything was organized, someone made me think that Yetziat Mitzrayim was possible because of the geniusity of Moshe Rabbeinu. That's not true. Yetziat Mitzrayim was possible because of Yad Hashem and only Yad Hashem. And that's why we're eating matzah. We are eating matzah to say the obelisk of the human being, of flesh and blood, that everything is only beyond the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And if you only trust flesh and blood, you only trust human being, you get out for Egypt with nothing in your package, ready with no tzedel again. That's the reason why we're eating matzah. Now go back to what we started with. According to the Ramban, the main idea of Achilat Matzah is to show us how quick Yetziat Mitzrayim was. So if I need to explain why we are eating matzah, it's impossible just to say that the dough didn't raise. If I only explain that the dough didn't raise, I miss all the point. The main idea is to say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu took us out from impossible place like Mitzrayim in few seconds. So what I need to tell, if I want to tell the entire story of the matzah, I need to tell what Avadim Ainu, and then to tell how impossible it does look like. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu was able to make it in few seconds. So if I want to tell the entire story of the matzah, I need to leave the matzah open since the beginning of the Haggadah till the end, according to the Rambam, according to Tosfot. According to the Rambam, what's the main idea of Yetziat Mitzrayim? What's the main idea of eating matzah? Maybe the Rambam learned like the Ram. But the main idea of Achilat Matzah, it's really because Am Yisrael didn't prepare themselves. And they get not organized to the way. So what's enough to tell? Only the last part of the story. That they didn't have enough time to raise the dough. That's so everything. That show everything. You don't need to tell the entire story to explain how much Am Yisrael wasn't organized and ready. That's the reason why the Rambam said, for Onim alav dvarim arbe, it's enough to have the matzah open in the end of the Seder. You don't need more than this. Let me just ask you the question. The idea that matzah must be done for something that's able to be chametz. If I'm explaining like the Ramban, the main idea is to explain that they didn't have enough time to raise. So it must be a dough that's able to raise and didn't raise because it didn't have enough time. So the Isur Chametz is only about the dough, and only dough that able to become to be chametz could be matzah, because you see that it didn't give enough time to raise. Yes, according to the Rambam or according to the Ran, that's not the main point. The main point is to show that Am Yisrael was hopeless. They didn't have the basic thing that they need with them. So it's nothing to do only with the dough. They didn't have the flour to take. They didn't have the simple things organized. So according to the Rambam, even a flour, regular flour, that able to become to be a bread, you not have it normal, it's enough to become to be symbolize the idea of eating matzah. If we are asking the question, why we need shimur to the matzah? Why we need to wash the matzah that it didn't become to be chametz? So if I'm explaining like the Ramban, like the Abarbanel suggesting, the main idea why I need to wash the chametz, wash the matzah, to be sure that it's not become to be chametz, because that's the main point. The main point is not what you're eating. It's the main point that you pay attention to the process, that the process not have enough time of 18 minutes to realize it was so quick. So everything is about the process. So there is a special halacha in chametz, in matzah mitzvah, to be aware to the process, to be aware to the fact that it was so quick made. Because that's the main idea of achilat matzah, according to the Ramban and Abarbanel. And therefore, according to the Ramban and Abarbanel, there is a special halacha about matzah mitzvah to watch the process. To watch the process, to see that everything is so quick. According to the Ran and maybe the Rambam, there is nothing to do with the process when you come in to achilat matzah. So there is only way to explain the reason why we need shmira is because we're afraid from chametz. But without afraid from chametz, the story of the matzah has nothing to do with the process. The story of the matzah is something to do with the to get the food, not because of our greatness. We get our food because of the greatness of the Baruch Hu, like the entire Yetziat Mitzrayim. I think at this hour that we are get close to our Sipur Yetziat Mitzrayim of this year. And we saw how much we are hopeless as a human beings. Yes? It's remind us that as then, as today, how much everything that we organize and everything that we think that we know is everything basically based on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we know that Yeshuat Hashem could be ke'eref ayin as then, so today. And we should pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to give us the humble ability to understand how much we depend on Him, and to pray on this Erev Pesach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that Kabayamim Ha'em, as saying today, bring our Yeshuat Hashem ke'eref ayin, Mirza Hashem, Chag, Kasher, V'Sameach.
Chag Sameach. Sorry everyone about that mix-up at the beginning. I hope everyone enjoyed anyway. Chag Sameach l'kulam.
Chag Sameach l'kulam.
Shekoach l'Rav, shekoach.
Chag Sameach also to my Talmidim from Yeshiva that join us.
I see, look at that. Even they joined. From America, I think, yeah?
Yep, believe it or not.
Very nice.
Zoom. Okay, go to Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach. Thanks.